Welcome everyone to part 2 of my trading strategy. So in this video, I'm just going to be going over examples and showing you guys and taking you through exactly how I mark out all my levels on the chart, how I take trades based off of those levels. So I'm going to be doing replay trading and TradingView, back testing the strategy for you guys, showing you guys how it works exactly. So hope you all enjoyed it. And also, quick reminder, my community is now live in bio, and it is for individuals who want more personalized help, who are serious about trading, who want access to my analysis, access to me basically 24/7. So if that sounds like something you want, then make sure to come join me in bio. But anyways, enjoy. Alright, so let's get started into part 2 of my trading strategy. Now, I'm going to take you guys through a little bit of back testing, marking out all of my levels with you guys here live and showing you guys exactly how I would trade them during the trading day. So, as you guys remember from previous video, we use supply and demand and support and resistance levels and volume as well, which I will go over later. But we are going to be marking these out real quick, and then we're going to go through and test out these levels and these zones that I have marked out. Okay, so now let's get right into it. What I'm going to be marking out is going to be those support resistance levels, supply demand zones with you guys on the chart, and I'm in replay trading. So the date we have here is going to be Wednesday, July 3rd. On QQQ is what I'm going to be charting out and then actually entering a trade for you guys in replay mode to backtest that. So if we go into the hourly time frame, this is where I'm going to look for my support and resistance levels, those obvious areas. So first one I'm actually going to mark out, because it is really important, is going to be QQQ all-time high, which is at this 557.20 area right up here at this candle high. So the reason and the only reason why that is so significant is because it is an all-time high on QQQ. And if for any reason we end up trading back up there, there's a good chance we will see some sort of rejection from that point. But I'm obviously going to still chart out another resistance level, since price is not exactly trading close to 557 currently in pre-market. So right now we have it at 5 a.m., which is an hour before the market opens, precisely hour and a half. So price is currently trading at 553.42, not close to the all-time high, but important to still keep in mind in case for some reason we do trade back up there. So the next significant level I want to also mark out is going to be this 553.99 area, because we've seen multiple candle taps into that price level without a break above it. So precisely around 554.03, that is what I'm going to be charting out for my next level. And then that is another resistance level on top of that 557.20 area, just to note that out. And one thing you can take into account is going to be the high and low of previous day as well. So this Tuesday, our low right here was at 551, and our high was actually at this 554.05 level. So when we're trading near all-time highs, it's going to be very important to take into account previous day high and low, pre-market high and low. So that is mainly what I'm going to be using to chart out all-time highs. So next level would honestly be at yesterday's lows, because we could tap into that area once again as well. So that would be, my next support area, and there might be a few other areas that might be great to mark out for support, maybe this 552.19 area. But for right now, this is going to be the most steady support level. Now for our supply and demand zones, I'm going to go into the 30-minute time frame. So for a demand area that I would like to mark out is going to be near our actual resistance level at that area. So we've obviously seen this strong demand zone right in here, where we've seen price trade into, get breaks out of, trade back into. We've seen multiple taps within this demand zone. So we kind of have it sitting between this 550 to 551 66 area. So that's going to be my first demand zone. Now for a specific supply zone, I actually like this range up here that we got, because we've seen a candle tap into it and we haven't seen much else from there. So we actually have this area that I'm going to make a little bit smaller. This area right here from this 555 to 557. So now let's drop into the 5-minute time frame and let's start going into market open. Let's start playing exactly what happens. So let's start playing. Let's see what happens. Okay, so we're still in almost market open and we look to be breaking above our level, right? Interesting there. We're already breaking above our first, resistance level there. And can you take a trade based off of that? So let me go ahead and pause this. So it's still 625 if we go to the next candle. Now we just have a couple very large candles up. Would I enter this move? Most likely not, because I like to wait for a little bit more confirmation. And if we make a move right off of market open, then I like to see a retest of our level and a continuation up. So when we get a strong move like this, I'm normally not going to try to get in and chase the move because that's what leads to losses. So could you have taken a trade, based on the fact that we're breaking through here? Yes, but we're also approaching this supply zone. And when we get into that supply zone, when we even tap into that resistance level, we've seen a reject. So let's continue to play and let's see what happens from there. So we get a nice tap into this 557.20 all-time high area, which was our next resistance level. And we're starting to reject it. As we see, we've seen a little bit of candle wicks into there. My bad. Oh, I don't know what just happened there. There we go. Okay, so we've seen a couple candle taps into there. Nothing significantly holding above, nothing telling me that we are going to continue with this upside, which is giving me a downside bias because now I would like to see price reject here and trade back into that previous support area and demand zone that we've already seen previously. So since price isn't holding here, I'm going to give it another candle, see how we close. So that is an obvious rejection. So off that obvious rejection, this is a rejection candle. We see a nice wick up into there. No clear hold, and I'm not going to try to take calls based off that. So for this case and scenario, I have to enter shares. I can't do replay on options, but let's just say I take 555 puts on QQQ, but I'm really in shorts, and I would be taking it up at this area based on that rejection. So let's go in there, and my initial take profit is going to be below this first supply zone at 555. That's where I'm going to look to take some of my profits out. Unfortunately, I can't just take a little bit out. I don't know how that works. Sorry. Yeah, so whatever. No take profit. Well, let's say my take profit is going to be down here. All right, but initially what I'm going to be doing in this position is I'm going to take profit out this area. This is my profit target. But since I have multiple contracts, I'm going to hold until we see back into this previous resistance level, now turned into support. So let's replay. Let's see what happens there. All right, so we get that first very nice displacement candle down after those rejection candles, which caused my initial entry. And we start to see big selling, and there we go. Take profit was hit. Let's see if we do tap into this lower support level now. So we end up tapping into there, and we actually get a break out of there. So that is my first trade. And the reason why I wouldn't take this upside is because it's abnormal upside. I would like to see a retest, some sort of entry before price just blindly continues up. And I don't like to chase the moves. So that is exactly why I would have taken puts on this move. So now let's go into the next day, which is going to be this Thursday, July 10th. So same levels still hold because overnight market and during pre-market, we didn't end up breaking any of these areas. I still like this upper resistance level at all-time highs. I still like this lower support level at 554.02. and this another support level at this 551 and this demand zone down here. We might be able to mark out a bit of a different demand zone as well. Kind of just depends. So let's see. For me personally, I could definitely mark out this demand zone up here as well. So let's keep this demand zone right here. We keep our same support and resistance levels, our same supply zone, and let's go back into the 5-minute time frame. So now we're nearing this market open. So if we start playing and seeing how price trades, so now we're near market open, and that is going to be market open. So market open, we get a exact reject off of that all-time high, off of our resistance level. So now let's continue to see how price trades. And no, I'm not just going to take puts based on the fact that we did tap into that level. We did get a reject. That is not exactly what I care for. That's not exactly what I even want to see just yet. So let's just continue this and see how price moves. I could be considering taking puts if we do break below this supply zone right here. That is where one of my entries would be. But if we do tap into this upper level again, I could also consider taking puts up there as long as we don't get a clean and clear break and hold above that level. So let's continue. Okay, so now price is trading down, and ideally where I would have taken entry is this candle right here that is clearly holding Okay, so now we're in the next day. So this is going to be Thursday, July 10th. And our same areas, our same levels still are holding up because overnight and pre-market, we did not make a ton of movement. So I'm going to keep our areas and levels the exact same, and we're going to see how price trades off of these. So we're about 20 minutes until market open at this candle right here. Let's just see how price trades, how price reacts. So immediately we trade up into this area right here. We tap back into all-time highs. Now, is that a reason to take a short up there? Not enough conviction for me yet, but what is conviction is us actually holding below this supply zone as well. So the reason that is okay, so as we see here, we are getting a break below this supply zone as well. So if we continue to hold below that supply zone, that would be a reason for me to then enter puts or shorts, since in this case and scenario, I can only replay shares on TradingView. So if the next candle, we do end up getting a close out of this supply zone after this big displacement candle, tapping into all-time high area, not holding that area up, then that would be a reason for me to end up taking some puts. So let's see how this candle ends up. And obviously, we do not get a hold back up supply. So that would be my main reason for entry and enough confirmation to then enter Qs. But one case and scenario, and the reason I wouldn't actually enter this trade is, let's say we were kind of just, chopping within the supply zone. We didn't tap into any key areas or get rejects off of key areas like 557.20. If I didn't see a reject off of that area, I might not have as much of a strong conviction on this trade. I might still take it because we are breaking out of a supply zone, but I might go in with not as much size as I normally would. So my take profit is going to be at that next level, which is at 554.04. And let's play this out. Let's see how this trade ends up going. So we immediately get a large candle down, which wasn't expecting this. But as you see, most likely news or some sort of thing happened within this time and caused us to then take a bit of a tumble. And if you are late into this trade, you should not be taking this break on support. So if we do end up breaking below this support level, and my bad, I messed up my TradingView, but we do end up breaking below the support level. Now, I wouldn't try to enter puts off of here. We've already got over a $4 move or so, $3 move down on QQQ. Now we are looking a little bit oversold. I'm not going to try to short right here, and I'm also not going to try to enter some calls either because I already got my play for the day, so I'm not going to try to reverse that. I'm just going to wait this one out, and let's see what we do because now we're in this demand zone, and we could obviously trade within this demand zone, continue to hold it up. Just because we're below a key support level doesn't mean we won't still hold up this demand zone that we're in. So price obviously gets a hold above there, and if you for any reason you were to enter shorts off the break on this level, you would have gotten stopped out pretty easily. So just remember that and take that into account. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video. I'm going to be doing more examples and stuff like that, but I really want to just put this one out there. So I will see you guys all later. Welcome everyone to part 2 of my trading strategy. So in this video, I'm just going to be going over examples and showing you guys and taking you through exactly how I mark out all my levels on the chart, how I take trades based off of those levels. So I'm going to be doing replay trading and TradingView, back testing the strategy for you guys, showing you guys how it works exactly. So hope you all enjoyed it. And also, quick reminder, my community is now live in bio, and it is for individuals who want more personalized help, who are serious about trading, who want access to my analysis, access to me basically 24/7. So if that sounds like something you want, then make sure to come join me in bio. But anyways, enjoy.